up, y'all? Alright, I'm gonna move into the new spot. It's time to talk about some stuff. Been busy, been away. But besides the point, you see the title. I'm talking about basically how this whole astrology thing works. Let's map it out. First things first, take everything you think you know about astrology out of your mind. Just take it out. Like just think about a what is astrology? I don't know. Just say that from jump. You don't know. So now what I'm gonna let you know is you gotta look at the houses, aka the constellations in astrology. Then you gotta look at the planets when it comes to astrology. Then you gotta look at the signs. All right. And there's a certain terminology you can go by that'll help you understand this a little better. Because some of y'all might be thinking houses and I understand the full capacity of that. But understand that the houses in astrology are equivalent to the constellations. Okay, you got the Aries constellation, Taurus, Gemini, all that, right? You got all 12 of those constellations. We call them houses in astrology. That's the correlation. Okay, and then you got planets. The planets, they come from the houses. They originated from certain constellations. And really, if you look at the constellations, you'll be able to understand when you understand where the planets go, like where they originated from, those areas within the universe, which are constellations. You'll see that the sun came from the fifth house, the moon came from the fourth house, right? So think of this as the fourth house, think of this as the fifth house. Moon right here, sun right here, okay? Boom. So that's what we got. Cancer constellation, Leo constellation. Now let's check this out. After Leo, we have Virgo. Leo's the fifth sign, Cancer is the fourth sign. So if we drop down over here from fifth to sixth sign, the sixth sign of the zodiac is Virgo, right? It's Leo. Cancer's gonna move out. Then the sign behind Cancer is Gemini, the third sign, right? Okay, so we got third, fourth, fifth, sixth sign. This one is Virgo. This one's Gemini. Mercury rules both of these planets. Let's drop down again. Now we're going from the sixth sign of Virgo to the seventh sign of Libra. And we're going from the third sign, which is Gemini, down to the second sign, which is Taurus. Right? Taurus, Libra. Both of those ruled by Venus. Check this out. We're going down from, you got to be looking at a zodiac wheel while I'm saying this to make sense of this. And then if we go down from Libra to the eighth sign, which is Scorpio, right? And then we go from Taurus to Aries, which is the first sign. Both of these planets ruled by Mars. And then you go from Scorpio to the next sign, which is Sag. You go back one from the first sign, which is Aries, you're going to have to hit that 12, which is Pisces. So Sagittarius and Pisces are ruled by Jupiter. And then Saturn, you got Capricorn that come right behind Aquarius. We start at Pisces. So if you go from Pisces, if you go from Pisces, drop one down from there, you got Aquarius, and you got Sagittarius, drop down from there, you got that 10, you got Capricorn. Both of these are ruled by Saturn. Right? So we got the sun and the moon up here, we got Saturn down here. Just itself, but it's split between two entities. The sun and the moon are on separate entities. The entities. Just like you think about religion, it's like everything is just a depiction of what we see up in the sky. That's why astrology is in the Bible. You gotta know what you're looking at. Once I aligned the planets and I seen that they was aligned through the zodiac wheel, I was like, oh, now we're making some sense. If you really think about that, that's a big deal. That lets you know that astrology really is on it. So that's like a certain format of understanding. But you do have to understand basically when it comes to the whole concept of the energies and understand the houses, planets, and signs. Think of it like this: you got a house, which is a constellation, that area within the universe. Now, planets originated from these spots as we observe it from the Earth, which is what astrology is, like the observation of the influence that these celestial bodies have on us that we can perceive, that we perceive so far. Like scientists were studying everything, but then this aspect became so spiritualized only because it spread so much truth that would be damaging to the masses to all learn once. But when it comes to the masses, it's just your societal format. It's not in accordance to who you are. So when it comes to who you are, it would benefit you wisely to take heed of the information that becomes available as you dive deeper into this stuff. But if you just claim you're not with it or whatever, it's like, okay, that's cool, I guess. But you're just not going to pick up on what you need to pick up on to understand what's going on next or know exactly what needs to be done without falling into anybody else's bull crap or them trying to push their agendas and you just picking a spot that you can fit in. But at the end of the day, you're going to come back here. That's what we don't want. But we lose focus of that. We came from the Pisces age, we in the Aquarius age, and we done forgot half our lessons. All of y'all are moving retardedly. And, I don't play when it comes to like mental illnesses and stuff like that. We could chop it up, we could talk about whatever. Mental illnesses, we can't really be jumping. For one, the reason being, you might find weird, but it's just when it comes to mental illnesses, people produce them because they don't know themselves and they like to call themselves this, that, and third. You just don't understand yourself. You haven't paid enough respect to yourself to know who you are. Some of us get on people while saying this, that, and the third about ourselves, but it's funny how we won't even allow ourselves to see ourselves. If I look at your birth natal chart, I'm going to be able to see the base of you. Somebody you probably haven't seen in a long time. But a lot of people just don't understand the science. So they say, oh, you trying to read me, trying to put me in a box. Nobody's trying to put you in a box. It's really just, you have to understand that this is a study, not just an art. Somebody created it, so it's an art by default, just like they created math and all this other stuff. But understand it's to be respected equally because of how much you can do for you. You personally, it's gonna be something you can't just duplicate off of somebody else who did it for you. It's not gonna work. Like you pay me, and all I can even do is just tell you what you need to be doing in accordance to my interpretation of your life. That's printed on a little piece of paper for me to see, or digitalized on my phone for me to look at on my computer, and just do my typing thing because it's on my computer or other ways. But still, technology has been up. Now we just late to the party. There's certain things that they'll let out, they won't let other shit out. Once you become wise to this shit, then it's gonna be like, well, okay, you might just take the whole birth natal chart generated things away. But at the end of the day, we gonna find a way again. If they take away all these coins and stuff like that, I know it's gonna affect them. I know it's gonna affect them. They might try to shut down our sites they can, so we hard for them to find them. These people are all individuals. They barely got companies they're working with. Spirituality is not respected enough. Because they hired us, they we put money in the wrong hands. They know that. But I explained that pretty thoroughly with respect to basically what I was talking about was, regardless of everything else I was talking about, with the houses and how to, matter of fact, I have a picture for you. So you got houses which are equivalent to the constellations. You got planets that travel through these houses, these constellations, these zodiacal energies. What do I mean by zodiacal energies? Well, the first house has Aries energy. The second house has Taurus energy. The third house has Gemini energy. Fourth house has Cancer energy. This is how the house is out. But you see, that's just how they originated. But you see, when it comes to you and who you are that entity that was downloaded into reality to reflect a certain portion of the sky and reflect more so your reality as a being. Because these all these planets where they were when you were born, not just the sun, which defines your birthday, but where the moon was, where Mercury was, Venus was, they all come together to define who you are. You technically are that day, that past that you weren't able to perceive consciously. You just seen all the aftermath after that. Nine times out of ten, you thought of everything from that angle that you were currently in, and you were around most of. Just like being influenced by your society, being influenced by close loved ones. Your experiences goes to you. But do you take heed of it? Do you really reflect? You ever think about why God started you off right there? Started you off remembering certain things from this point and that point or whatever. What happened to the old memories? It's like what's really going down in life. You sit there and you really think about that, you really start to understand astrology better. Because it's what we all just try to figure out. We try to figure out what happened to our lives, where to go, where we're supposed to be going. We're looking for guidance. And that's all I'm certain. That's all I'm certain. And that's all astrology is about. That's why we align so well. Yeah, imagine constellation. Imagine it's a house, right? Now the planet, imagine that being, the home. And then let's say the homie is in a certain mood today. So the mood would be like the energy, right? So let's say, for example, I was born November 24th, 1996. So I'm a 2 degree Sag, right? That's my sun sign, right? So let's say I walk up in the place and everybody like, oh, okay, he has a mutable fire type like energy. Now, regardless if you understand that or not, every sign in the zodiac is made up of an element and a modality. Okay, there's three modalities, there's four elements, there's 12. Three times four, 12, right? 12 signs. That's why you get three different fire signs, three different water signs, air signs, and earth signs. Okay, you get four different of each modality. Most of you will not be aware of what I'm talking about when I say modalities, only because it's never been taught to you. Elements, you might think, okay, earth, water, fire, air. Yeah, it's simple. We all heard that stuff, but you ain't never been told cardinal, fixed, or mutable. You weren't told things. Now, mutable, you might think you don't know what I'm talking about. Now, you might know about the words based off the fact that you know vocabulary and things of that nature, but everybody might not have the education. So, shout out to everybody. I respect all assets, but that's why I'm explaining this stuff, y'all. So, here we go. All feelings aside. Cardinal is to initiate and create something. When it comes to astrology, just gonna keep it cut straight. When it comes to fixed, that's like a fixated nature. To have a fixated nature, that nature would be dependent upon the element that will be put in correlation with the modality. Now we talking about mutable, we talking about adapting or relating in accordance to a certain element, which would be fire, earth, air, or water. So you take that into consideration. Each one of those. Now, cardinal fire. To initiate and create, fire is expression or point of view. To initiate and create an expression or point of view. To have this type of energy, one would have to be going first to initiate and create. Outside of being fixed, like being fixated on something, something that's already happened to be fixated on. And then when it comes to mutable fire, adapting or relating to the expression or point of view, that means something definitely has to happen. probably remained within fixation within a certain amount of time to figure out what that was, having to be mutable. It's like dealing with the 1, 2, and 3. You want to be the leader, 2 is going to follow, and 3 is going to adapt to whatever happens to the 2. The first one makes a mistake, and the second one is there and just has no choice but to fall too. The third one's not going to fall, they'll observe it all. But you see, the second one potentially could be saved, and now 2 and 3 know what to do. They become the new 1 and 2. Like, the leader falls 1, the 2 comes in and takes the play. Not 3 sees it, goes like, oh, okay, what's going on? Probably don't know what's going on to the highest extent, and then ends up just being the dude who said, yeah, let's not do that. We lost 2 dudes. That wasn't a good idea. Let's start over. Hopefully that harnessed everything 1 and 2 is talking about. Or society became bigger, became more so like what y'all call a pyramid scheme, a multifaceted marketing, whatever it's called. And say one leader goes, 2 niggas there, and they just like the first one died, so the second one take charge, and the third one see if that kind of lean, they bring somebody else who know what's up. I don't know. I just know it becomes a big old triples down if it's efficient. If the system is efficient enough, it's going to trickle down. At the end of the day, that's how it's going to go. So it's like that. And like, look, the Aries, they'll come first. That's cardinal fire. They're going to be the first ones to go out into the field. They'll be the first ones to fall. If falling is an option. If they end up not falling, they just make it, they made it. And there's nothing you can do to take them off the throne once they get there. That's it. Now, if we're talking about, like, let's say fixed fire instead of cardinal fire, which is Aries, we're talking about somebody who has a fixation on expression or a point of view, fixation on that, right? Now, imagine a director getting a stage ready. They have to have a fixation on that image in their mind, which is that expression. They feel some type of way about whatever this is that makes them want to express themselves about expressive, externalize and apply pressure. Express it. So I make you feel something. Make you see their point of view. That would be a Leo. They're fixed fire. They're the star. Or they know how to make you the star. It depends on their first house. It's the personality. Things they take personal and will personally affect them the best. It's going to be based off of those things, or at least it should be. That's when you should be very selfish. When it comes to your first house energy, it teaches you how to be selfish correctly within your nature. Everybody's not the same. Some people don't have to give charity. Some people lives depend on it. And it just makes them feel good. That's that instinctive sense of feel. Like when it comes to who you are, you have to take that in consideration because it helps you understand yourself. Studying astrology, I'm able to look at these numbers and I'm able to look at somebody and I'll see the temperaments and match numbers together, do a numerological twist up with the numbers, multiply them, add them up, whatever I choose to do and play around. It don't matter. The numbers. I'm not saying it's something not to fool with, but I'm just saying they have a lot of energy. And we're all young witches and warlocks. At the end of the day, this is what it is. We gotta mess with this stuff. Nobody's experimental. So I got experimental with this stuff and I came to realize so many different interpretations of how things play out, looking at people in different like aspects of a point of view. So it's like diversifying my own personal point of view to be able to see somebody in so many different ways, see them in so many different outcomes. It's crazy. One would consider it an ability if they could experience it, but I could teach y'all how to get it. It's real easy. It's like just passing down the power. It's something I inherited from my conviction. You learn a lot from your convictions. And this world is pretty traumatizing, child. For me, it can be. A lot would tell you if they weren't raised so hard. But see, my mother was cool, straight. We just chopped everything up. Some things is harder to talk about at some points, but we got we got enough out of it. Like, it wasn't enough for me. But we got enough out of the conversation. I never get enough. That's why I'm perfect for this. This is my journey. I want you guys to find yours. I'm about to blow up and I'm about to make it happen. That's all I'm doing. I don't look too great in this picture right now. I look better in person, but it don't matter. Just saying for the record. Then y'all niggas know. But yo, hit me up. Figure out about this strategy stuff. I got a lot of videos to make. That was one of them. It was a little bit more heartfelt than I thought. Bit. Much love, Jason the Chiron. I don't have the intro figured out yet. I'm gonna get to it.